Hello and good day. This is Bill Conroy, and for the next few minutes, I'm going to try to simplify Medicare and Medicare supplements. This presentation is only dealing with Medicare supplements, not Medicare Advantage plans. Let me repeat that. I'm only going to be talking about Medicare supplements, not the Medicare Advantage plans. To begin with, let's go back to the creation of Medicare, how it has evolved, and where we are today. Medicare was signed into law in 1965, and future Trivial Pursuit question for you is this. The first recipient of a Medicare card was Harry Truman, and he received it from Lyndon Johnson. So keep that in mind if you're ever playing Trivial Pursuit and the question comes up. Back in 1965, we didn't have all the different plans that are available today. We didn't have HMOs or PPOs or POSs or HDHPs or HRAs or HSAs. The only thing that was available were the 80-20 plans that we had about 20 to 25 years ago. Everyone was covered by 80-20 plans. If you can remember how these plans worked, then you have Medicare down pat. Because simply put, Medicare will become your insurance company, and they are going to pick up 80% of covered expenses. You, on the other hand, are responsible for 20% of the covered expenses. After Congress decided on the 80-20 design, the next thing they did is they broke Medicare into two separate parts, Part A and Part B. Part A deals with your hospitals, Part B deals with your doctors. If a doctor touches a procedure, whether it's an office visit or brain surgery, it falls under Part B of Medicare. From 1965 to about 1990 or 91, you had hundreds of different insurance companies selling all variations of Medicare supplements. And these plans were all a little bit different. So finally, about 1990 or 91, the House, the Senate, and the insurance commissioners from the different states all got together after they had heard a lot from their constituents. And they decided at that point in time that from this point forward, all Medicare supplements are going to be uniform. So in essence, what that boils down to is this, and this is an important part, that if you purchase a Plan F, a Plan G, a Plan N, whether it's in Georgia or New York or California, Oregon or Florida, it is the exact same coverage, the exact same wording. There's no variation at all. Claims are paid exactly the same. It's that simple. So all of the paperwork that you've been receiving for the past 6 months, if it deals with Medicare supplements, it is absolutely all identical. There's no variation in it whatsoever. So how do you compare policies if everything's the same? My recommendation is to work with an insurance broker. Your insurance broker will base his decision on the financial strength of the company, the customer service that that company provides, as well as the price. Let's look at how Part A and B of Medicare are working in 2014. Part B, as we said, deals with your doctors. The deductible for Part B in 2014 is $147 per year. Part A, as we said, deals with your hospital. The deductible for Part A is $1,216 in 2014. Now, this deductible is unlike any that we've had in the private sector, whether you've had a group insurance plan or an individual major medical plan. The deductible under Medicare runs on a 60-day period of time. Think of it as a rolling deductible. If you go into the hospital on January 2nd, if you go back into the hospital within 60 days, you do not have to meet that deductible again. If you go back on the 61st day, then yes, you do have to meet that deductible again. So therefore, over the course of a year, you can incur numerous deductibles depending on when you went into the hospital. Here we go with the final piece of the puzzle, which is Part D or your prescription drug plan. In 2005 or 2006, President Bush signed Part D into law. Prior to this law being signed, if you were outside of a hospital setting, you were totally responsible for the cost of your prescription medication. This is the way Part D works, And for simplicity's sake, I'm going to assume that you are taking a Part D plan without an annual deductible. And please remember what I'm going to tell you, I'm rounding the numbers up. So therefore, it's easier to explain, and at the same time, I want you to understand the concept. Here we go. From dollar number 1 to dollar number 3,000, you're going to be paying copays. The copays represent 25% of the actual cost of the medication. So if you're paying 25%, your prescription drug plan is picking up the other 75%. That equals, of course, 100%, or what they call the true retail value. Now, let's put some numbers with this. Say you're paying $5 for a prescription medication, and it's a generic medication. If you're paying $15 is being picked up by the prescription drug plan. That, of course, equals 20 in anybody's math. That is the true retail price. They use the true retail price to get you over to the donut hole. Not just the $5 that you've been paying, but the 20, the true retail price. Now, once you hit the donut hole, you are responsible for the entire cost of your medication. From $3,000 to $6,000, you're responsible for the total cost. If you come out on the other side of the donut hole, you're responsible for 5% of the cost. The prescription drug plan picks up the other 95%. Now, for most people, you are not even going to enter the donut hole. But in the event that you do, and you come through catastrophic coverage, you are responsible for 5%. The prescription drug plan picks up the other 95%. And that continues until the end of the calendar year. Finally, let's look at the cost for Medicare and Medicare supplements. Part A, there is no cost as long as you have worked for 40 quarters in the United States. And 40 quarters is equal to 10 years. Part B of Medicare is based upon your modified adjusted gross income, which is the bottom line on the front page of your tax return. If you're an individual and your earnings are $85,000 or less, you will be paying $104.90 in 2014. If you're married, filing jointly, earnings of $170,000 or less, then you will be paying $104.90 each. Part D, your prescription drug plan. The cost for your prescription drug plan will vary depending upon the medication that you're on. For the majority, the cost will range from $15 to $55 plus whatever copays. Finally, a Medicare supplement is going to run anywhere from $65 to $180 on a monthly basis, depending on the plan design that you want. Thank you for your time. This is Bill Conroy, and I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, and most people do, please feel free to give us a call. We do not charge for this consultation. We just want to make sure that you are comfortable and confident in the decision that you make. Thanks again for your time. Bye for now.